Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Horse Center. So happy to be back here with you guys. I am Wild Jamie. My fabulous co-host Swiss Army Sean is with us as well. And tonight we have on multiple graded stakes winning jockey and a personal favorite of mine, Junior Alvarado. Welcome to the show.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me in your program. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and just looking forward to have fun for the next half hour, 40 minutes, for however long you can have me here.
Well, we're going to milk it for as long as we can because you are quite the topic. This has really been your year. I mean, you've had a fabulous career, your entire career, but you are on absolutely everyone's lips in 2023. So we will get into all that. But let's take it back to the beginning for a minute. I know you come from Venezuela and you come from a racing family. Your father was also a jockey, right?
Yes. That's how everything started. He was a jockey. It was in my blood because all I wanted to do since I was probably 3 or 4 years old, it was just to be a jockey. I didn't have anything else in my mind back then, and I was able to achieve that, and I've been very 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 lucky enough to have a lot of people that support me through the years, and here I am.
Wonderful. Now, something I read that was so interesting is that you were supposed to be Rafael Alvarado Jr., but that your dad wrote the names in the wrong order on the birth certificate or something to that effect. So you became Junior Alvarado. Is that right?
Yeah, I think what it was is like he put it right, but I think when the paper came out, it came out Junior Rafael Alvarado, and my man was having trouble at that time, and he kind of like leave it like that.
Okay.
Here I am. I'm Junior now. Everybody
Okay.
all the time asking me, is like, "Well, yeah, but what's your first name?" Yes, Junior, my first name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's really cool. I love that actually. Very,
Yes.
very interesting. And you won your first race in Venezuela, but then a couple years later, you came to the US. So, my question is, once you came to the US, did they redo the entire ritual of the baby powder and the water and all that? Or were they like, no, you already won your first race in Venezuela. You don't get that treatment again?
Yeah, I didn't. To be honest, I don't remember. Yeah, I get that treatment. I think it wasn't much of a big deal, I guess, back then. But yeah, I don't remember. They might have done something. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to go back my memory, but I can't remember if I got that from all the jockeys and the Jackson. But like I said, at the same time when I came here, they knew already that I was, winning jockey from Venezuela. Venezuela, I have won 56 races when I came here to the United States. So that's why it wasn't a big deal to that it wasn't my first race ever. So
Sure. Gotcha. And what made you want to come to the US?
it was. I think at the beginning it was more like a my dad's dream.
Oh, did we lose him or did
Okay,
he?
yeah, that
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
me. That wasn't
Okay.
you. So it must have
I
been
was
him.
like, I don't know.
We were all holding our breath.
I know.
Um,
I'm like, was it
am I
me or
back?
was
Am I
you?
back? Am I here?
Okay, you're back
now you're
now.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a little blip right there. Where was I? Yeah, I can remember where was I.
I just asked why you came to the US and you said it was your dad's dream originally.
Yeah, he was the one that actually encouraged me, to watch races from here. I didn't have really no idea there was racing anywhere in the world. Only in Caracas when I was, riding there. So, I got really interested. I got my brother was actually living here and living there in Miami, and I told him like, listen, if you know anyone in the track, that can help me out, like I would like to maybe make a move there if it's possible. I wasn't too crazy, but I kind of throw that out there, and then like he eventually find somebody who was like a sponsor for me, and we start the process, and then I was able to came here.
Wonderful. And you came out swinging right away. You started winning races immediately. You won the Arlington leading rider title, not an easy title to win. And since then, you have kind of migrated to the New York circuit. How do you like that circuit?
Yeah, it's a very tough circuit, but I think, when you're really looking to be, on the top, when you want to ride the best horses or try to get on the best horses, I think here in New York is where you can have a big opportunity to achieve that, to get in any good horses, like there's a lot of good trainer here that anyone can actually come out with a good 2-year old that can, push your career, like in the next level. And that was always my dream. I just didn't want to just ride horses. I want to try to be the best I could be, and be able to ride in the best races. And I've been, like I said, I've been lucky enough that I have people that support me. For example, Mr. Mo is one of my biggest supporter in my career, and we've been very lucky to win many big races together.
Absolutely. And I just want to catch up on a few comments here because you got a lot of fans that are writing in. From Lloyd Green, one of my favorite jockeys, I joke in a stream, you can't go wrong with the jockey whose name starts with a J. From Willie Martinez, when I saw Junior riding in Kentucky, I knew he had that in him. Super nice guy, always smiling, great attitude. Glad to see him getting the opportunities he deserves. Keep up the great work. We got another one here from Dave McKenna. There's like tons of comments rolling in already. We've been here for 3 minutes. Dave McKenna says, good evening, Junior. Been a fan going back to the Arlington Park days. Continued success and stay healthy. All right. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Sean. I've taken up enough of the time here.
Well, one thing on there about him always happy and always smiling. That's one thing. Did you go to a jockey school? Because that's one thing we always say when they go to jockey school, and it's usually the Puerto Rico's jockey school. Everybody's happy, everybody's smiling. Where'd you get your smile and being happy all the time?
Yeah, I was able to, when I got in Venezuela, when I was riding, becoming, to learn, there was already a school that started already. So I was doing like kind of the thing on my own, that school kind of, the guys start riding before I was ready. So I kind of was like, okay, probably whenever I'm ready, they might give me the okay to ride. And eventually, they create another school. And I wasn't in a rush. I was loving what I was doing every morning, galloping horses. So I kind of wait for that group of jockeys to be ready, and I put myself in that spot, and that's I did probably like 2.5 years longer than what normally is supposed to be in Venezuela, and yes, that's I did did my school in there, then in Valencia, and then I had to move my tag to Caracas, which is like the next level. And like I said, little by little was moving my tag, then Miami, then Chicago, then New York.
When did you know you were making it? When did you know? You obviously knew you wanted to do it. When did you know I'm really successful and I'm really good at this?
Well, to be honest, I went to Caracas, in Valencia, there was the time where like we finished the school, then every apprentice that was in the school start riding on their own, against professional, and that's it. There's no more riding against all the amateur, for saying. And, then a whole year, I probably rode maybe 9, maybe 10 horses, not even a whole year. And I was like, oh boy, I mean, I'm working and doing everything I'm supposed to do. So let me move to Caracas, even though it's harder. But I was just thinking, well, I just need the opportunity, and I'm not getting it here in Valencia. So I moved to Caracas. Then, I started working there. I didn't put any pressure to anyone to start writing me. So I just started working, letting them know that, that I want to learn maybe even more of what I knew before I start writing. And, little by little, I started winning races, and I was fighting the apprentice in Venezuela. And, that's when I think I can write a little bit, things was going great for me. And then, I make my move to Gulfstream. There was Gulfstream at that time, when I moved here to the USA, it was 2007. It was around February. So it was the big Gulfstream Park meet, big jockeys, big names. And I got there, I moved there, and it was kind of like another wake up call. I wasn't getting the opportunity again. I kind of feel like I'm starting from zero. Like I was like nobody's, when I came from Venezuela, like I said, I was almost the top apprentice right there. And then once again, when I started riding here, I was like nobody. Then, I felt so uncomfortable every time I was going to ride for somebody from here from the USA. Like they're speaking to me in English, and I have zero idea what they were talking to me or saying to me. Ride a horse. I was just going with what I thought I should do. And and that's when I said, like, I have to push myself. I need to learn the English. Like, I mean, I want to learn how to ride the way they ride horses here, but I think first of all, I need to learn English, because I need to communicate with people here, because it was just like a terrible feeling just to get in a horse and really not have idea what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
That's how kind of everything went right there. It's kind of like this. When I thought I knew, when I thought I was good, then something would have happened to make me realize that there's still a long way to go. And I just think that it was part of me, learning, and I'm glad it went that way. So that way, like, nothing went up in my head, and here we are.
We had some interesting stories on jockeys learning English. So how did you learn English, and how long did it take you to get to know what people were saying?
Well, I think it just took me to move to Chicago. I moved to Chicago. Then I that's where I met my wife, which she was from Chicago. She's American. She didn't speak any Spanish. But back then it was just a computer, and we kind of connect through social media. I met her at the track. I was riding for her brother used to have some horses, and I used to ride once in a while. She used to come, and then we kind of start talking and social media, and it was easy for me to just translate what I think I was gonna say and put it in translate, and then put everything in English. So she thought I was okay in English, but then dating and other stuff like that, and for the first maybe couple months, we just smiling back at each other.
So you discovered love in English at the same time.
Yeah,
yes, pretty much.
Love is the universal language. We hear a lot of stories like that also. I love that. And I just want to catch up on some more comments here. Very cool. Okay. Sorry, there's so many positive things here. I don't want to miss out on these. So from Angel, Sunny Leon, Javier Castellano, 2 straight in a row Venezuelan Kentucky Derby winners, all in for Junior for the next one. Absolutely. And from Sean Patrick Dolan, 2 call Junior, Kelly, Adrian, Adeline, and Axel is an absolute honor. One of my favorite families in racing, and so proud of all that Junior has accomplished. And we got a great question here from a fan as well, from Charles B. Junior, can you talk about your winning move on Cherokee Cottage at Saratoga, flying from the back at 5.5 furlongs on the turf?
Ooh, I have to try to remember which one that one. Probably like if he does remember the trainer, that might probably hold me big time.
Okay.
Maybe it was, I think maybe it was Billy Mudd. Yeah, I think it was a horse. I just think it was a horse that was just like he needed the first time out. He needed a run for first time out. Normally like Billy Mudd style horses who need at least one time out, and she was more ready. They went pretty fast at from, and I just kind of chilled there. I didn't want to rush it off her feet, and since I remember Luis Saez rode it first time, and Luis Saez did what normally most of the jockey will do, try to put him in the race, give her best chance, and she got very tired. So I said, like, let me just do the opposite a little bit, just like let her get her feet under and make a move, and yeah, I got lucky that day that it went pretty fast, and I picked up the pieces at the end.
Awesome. And yes, it was Bill Mott, August 23rd. There you go. There is another horse that I want to ask you about that everyone has been talking about, and that is, of course, Codys Wish. So tell us a little bit about riding Codys Wish.
Yeah, it's just great. That's what we're here for. That's what, like, every time any jockey, I guess, gets in the morning and always hoping to get opportunity to ride a good horse like that. And like I said, I was lucky that I got the opportunity again to ride him, and it's just been an unbelievable ride. Pretty smart horse, not easy, very difficult, but I think that's how it's supposed to be sometimes. I think he has teaching me more stuff than that I thought, like I said, once again, that I knew, and then he's kind of giving me the other view, like, hey, you don't know really everything, like you still need to know how to handle this kind of horses, and I like this way, and like I say, his horse is actually been teaching me a lot until this point still, and like I said, and the story is just unbelievable. It's really to love it.
Yes, for sure. That is what we need more of in horse racing. And sorry, Sean, I keep interrupting you. One more comment here. Buenos noches, saludes desde Venezuela. So thank you, Jose. That's my Spanish. It's not as good as your English.
No, it is very good.
Well, I was going to go back onto Codys Wish and also piggyback off that. You've ridden a lot of big name horses: Olympiad, Art Collector, Flat Out, Mohaman, a whole bunch. I could keep going on. So talk about, because I'm sure there's more of a pressure and more of a different feeling when you're riding a horse like that than you're riding your $5,000 claimer. So talk about that and the pressure that goes into it, and maybe the more that goes into it than your just regular race every day.
Oh, we call people like Junior money riders. They show up to those big races.
No, it's just, to me, I love it. It's, to be honest, when you ride good horses like that, it's easier. I would say it's more harder probably to ride claiming horses where you kind of have to measure more everything more perfectly. Good horses are definitely easy to ride. This one, I think, with Codys Wish, yes, is a horse that, like, I'm very good with having pressure on it, but it's hard not to. At the same time, it's hard not to cheer for him. It's hard not to get pressure, because once again, it's a beautiful story, like where I have been witness to with this horse and Cody, how he act, how every time that I have won on it and he's been in the winner's circle, that way he approach him and goes toward him, it's just unbelievable. He's a horse that, like, I remember, like, I saw one day they were saddling, they have, the groom, Anita, and they got somebody else holding him the other side. And when he decided to walk a little bit to the front, he walked with both of them, like, no problem. They couldn't hold him. And, when Cody Dorman is there, he just gets so gentle, such a big horse, and he does everything more gentle toward him. Just like I say, it's been inspiring. And I think for that reason, I just want to try to keep winning with this horse, because it's not only the winning for me. I just think for racing, and I think for Cody Dorman, it's just, something that I want to keep going,
When did you know this horse was this kind of special?
Billy Mott always knew since the first time that he was pretty good. Then I got to ride him first time out, and it was a very troublesome horse back then. First time out as a horse with a lot of character. He was a little big and the lazy side. Then all of a sudden tried to run off at the halfway of the race. Then I had a check. Then I make a move, and I got taken off. Then Joel rode it, and it run off with Joel going 2 turns, like just broke slow, and then decide to take off, when I think Joel is one of those guys that have, like, one of the best hands in the business to handle those kind of horses. And he didn't care about Joel's hands or anything like that. He just run off too. But, I think he just needed that. I knew he had it on him. And like I say, many horses, I'm reading many horses that I think they're going to be good, but just because they never get to put it all together and mature mentally, they never can get to the next level. And I think, Billy Mott did an amazing job. Kind of start working with him and giving the chance to get to that point. And, and then now he's just, probably one of the best miler here in the country.
Very cool. And then there was something else that happened this year that's kind of a big deal, and that is the Mike Venezia Memorial Award, basically honoring someone for their sportsmanship, their citizenship, just representing the sport in a positive light. And you won that award. So tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, I remember I just got the call from Rich Migliori, and I was shocked. I mean, I didn't know, like, how did that happen? But, I was just very happy, and like I say, in and out the business, I always try to help whoever I can with what I can help, and I always, try even to teach that to my kids. We always, we're here for not for a really long time, so we need to try to be good to everybody. If you don't have nothing nice to say, just don't say anything. And it's always to be more of a positive person, and like I say, I always try to help people. I just think that there's so many bad things sometimes going around the world that I just think, like, I know I'm not gonna make any difference, but I just always think it's always be better be a nice person and be helpful with everybody. And I just think that might play a little part on that. And like I say, all the time when I get a lot of young riders, I try to give them tips. I try to teach them what I can teach them, and try to, like I say, guide them the right way.
Yeah. Well, like I told you before we went live, your reputation precedes you. Everyone has positive things to say about you. I told my husband that you were going to be on the show tonight, and he was like, "Oh, he's such a nice guy. That's great. You're going to have a great time." So, and Willie knows everyone. So,
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned your kids. Do your kids have the itch to get into the horse racing game?
It's strange. I have 12-year-old boy, 8-year-old girl, and 4-year-old boy. My 2 boys are like extremely allergic to horses.
wow.
And the girl, she's not, but the all 3 really don't really care much about horse racing. When it's big days, my wife goes to the track and she brings them, and they're like, well, they saw me win again in the winner picture and all the celebration at the time, but then they'll turn around. They don't even.
That's so crazy. Oh, wow. Interesting. Well, I guess you don't have to worry about them being a jockey, which is something that stresses out a lot of jockeys. So
for me, it's just like, you know what, like I'm glad it's kind of that way. I'm doing this. I guess I'm, like I say, I take the risk of this job so they don't have to do that. So I'm very glad for that part that they're not really crazy about it.
Sure. And just a few more comments that I wanted to pull up here from Lloyd Green. Cody has been good for racing. Almost everybody roots for him in the connections. Absolutely. I could not agree with you more. And from Sean Patrick Nolan, I still watch Junior and Preservationist in the Woodward, and every time I'm amazed that he made it through that hole. What a team they were.
It was a good race. I remember one of my best races. It has to be at least in my top 5, one of the best races I ever rode. That horse.
Awesome. Love that. And then this is a pretty funny comment from Charles B. Team Junior Ma is like a junior mint for printing money. All right, there you go. Good place to place your bets, everyone.
Yeah.
Bringing you the hot tips here on Horse Center.
Well, I see one over here too. We kind of talked about this. Without not saying your dad, Jeffrey Doyle wants to know who was your mentor.
I think here when I moved here to the USA, I was really. Since they were from Venezuela, it was Ibarcoa, Javier Castellano, and Ramon Dominguez, were jockeys that I was really, looking up to, and tried to learn, like I say, since I was from Venezuela, I wanted to be somewhere like them, and, try to copy a little bit of, all of it. And they were, they became very good friend and they taught me a lot. And I was, like I said, until this point, I'm very grateful to all of them who with every help that they gave me, I think, helped my career at the same time.
Very cool. And I think we just lost our co-host here, but he'll be back.
No, I'm here. The camera went off again.
Okay. All right. Speaking from beyond is Swiss Army Sean.
I'm definitely here. The camera just got unplugged. I'm here. So we talked about your first win a little bit. What about your 1,000th career win? And not too long ago, you got your 2,000th career win. What do you remember about that, and what did that mean to you?
Yeah, no, that 1,000, I don't even remember that one. That one kind of went unnoticed. Like by the time I knew, I was already 1,040 or 50, something like that, and it was already too late to celebrate it. So. Well, I guess I just keep going to the next one, and yeah, for the 2,000, I know my dad was really on top of it. He was kind of reminding me, and it was great. It's a great achievement. It's a big accomplishment. 2,000 is for me, it was a big number since I've been through many injuries. I always for a long time ago, I thought like getting to 1,000 might be even impossible because I keep remember I got through probably like 3-4 years in a row where I keep getting injured, and like I couldn't catch a break every time I thought I was doing good. I had to stop for 4, 5, 6 months, and I guess all that together makes me appreciate every win, little, big. I think every win counts the most, and like I say, make me enjoy every win and appreciate every win that I get from from all those pills. You get more appreciation for everything you get.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because you are a rider who has had a lot of downtime with various different injuries. People see the success, they see you in the winner's circle with Codys Wish or winning these awards and accolades, but they don't see the work that goes into it. They don't see the times where you're struggling because once a jockey is injured, they're not making anything. They just have to depend on what they've already saved up, which is a precarious position for anyone to be in. So the life of a jockey is not all roses and checks. There's a lot of difficult things that come along with it. So yeah, how many times have you been injured?
I know I have broken. I think that was counting. I think I was in the 18 bones maybe in my body.
Wow.
And I have probably I have 5 surgery in my shoulder. Was nothing broken, but it's just like ligament and stuff like that, and tendons, and does have really taken a long time, because sometimes I like, well, I wish I would have just break it, and sometimes it takes just 2 months and that's it. But ligament stuff like that takes even longer. So
it's true.
I think my shoulder has been one of the struggle, and it always takes around between 5 to 6, even 7 months. Couple times have taken me in. But like I say, I learned after a while. I had to learn to how to deal with that, and at that time I just after a long time I just enjoy my time with my family when I was when I was out.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and we've got another comment. I got to pull this one up because it's good for us too. Great interview. Thanks for coming to Horse Center. Sean and Jamie are the best hosts to promote the world of horse racing. Well, thank you, Janet. We're happy to see you here.
Well, another thing I'll add is, I always wonder, now I just saw you at Parks for the big day at Parks. Do you like the normal days, like every day you're doing the same thing, or do you like those big races where you got to travel and go show up for a mount or two?
Yeah, it doesn't, that's what we're here. We're trying to get the best to ride good horses. So that's supposed to happen. When you have to go out of town to get to ride those horses, and yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I don't think I don't do it as much as probably Ira, Jose Ortiz, Johnny, Joel, but I still do it. Enough, and yeah, I mean, sometimes I do get to enjoy to travel somewhere else. Get to stay somewhere else. Sometimes you need a little long time just to get your mind back together again. And I just think it's always, like I said, I look everything in a different way what I was probably look at it 6, 7, 8 years ago. I took after all the many spill, like I said, I take a different approach to life, to my job, to my family, to everything. I try to just enjoy it, and this really no time to get frustrated, to be mad at anything.
Now, when you go to a track like Parks, who do you kind of lean on? Because it plays a lot different than the tracks in New York and stuff like that. Who do you kind of lean on for the information on how the track's playing and that kind of stuff?
I just start watching racing, trying to see what I'm getting from it. Like see if okay, this horse won, and was outside, wasn't inside. He was supposed to win or wasn't supposed to win, or a long shot, and stuff like that. You study, but I just think most of the time when you ride in big races, if you ride your horse good, the best horse will win in big races. You know what I mean? The best horse always, if he shows up, he's gonna be the one to beat.
Now, you seem like such a well-grounded person, and you've been through so many ups and downs in your career. What would your advice be to someone just getting started in this business?
I'll say probably maybe like, the back boys, sometimes just, it's the same thing. You need to be patient. There will be time. I think for me, it was one of the time that one of the things that frustrated me the most is like, I would ride a horse pretty good, but didn't win, second or third, but a good ride. And, next time you take you off, and they put the big jockey in whatever you're riding, whatever track you're riding. And that's always going to happen. But, you have to think when you win a race, sometimes you didn't ride that horse before somebody else rode it, and you get to ride it next time, and you won on it. So, and for me, I guess I was maybe like a late bloomer. It took me a long time to process that and to try to understand that and be okay with that. But, even though sometimes once in a while, I still get to me, it's like, why did I get it? But, there's nothing you can do. You got to keep moving on and just keep. I always say, like, just ride the best race you can in every horse. That if you get taken off, you always can feel good by yourself. That like, listen, whoever they put next, they might have to probably drop the horse to win that race. I mean, because they want to improve out of me, since I give it the best right, I could give you that horse. Simple. So that would be probably my advice. Just things are gonna happen. You're gonna be taking up horses. You have to, keep your head straight and just ride, like I said, ride the best you can every horse every time. Give your best every time you're riding out there, because like I said, I mean, this is an up and down business. This, you never know, like, this very dangerous. You can go down one day, so the next day, you don't have that in mind, but it might happen. So like I say, every time you get on the horses, just give your best. Simple.
I love that. All right, Sean, we're at the half hour mark, so go ahead and get in your last minute questions.
Well, I was going to say, if you had to pick one career, and we just talked about all these highlights, all these horses, we had to pick one career highlight, what would it be?
One career. How about I give you two? I'm gonna give you one,
Okay.
because for me it was very special. I don't know. It was very personal for whatever reason. I don't know. I rarely get to celebrate. I win big races, and I think I prepare myself. I don't go crazy celebrating when I win a big race, because I think if I'm preparing myself, I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to get that done. So I'm not gonna be crazy celebrating like I wasn't expecting. Like, oh my God, look, I win. I wasn't. I've been working for it, so I'm supposed to I'm supposed to do that. But for me, the Pegasus this year was like an unbelievable race to win. I
Yes.
did that. I celebrated like crazy, maybe more than I should when I passed the wire. But I don't know. It was very, I don't know. For me, it was
No,
very,
that was great. Yeah.
it was a great win. It was crazy, because leading into the races, I have a horse that I was gonna ride. Then 2 weeks before the Pegasus, I got an offer to ride another horse, and I say to the trainer, "No, I got this mount." And then, like I say, a couple days later, this guy took me off. So I tried to go back to the mount that the other guy offered me, and he said, like, "Well, I'll give that mount away." So I'm like, I don't have a mount in that race right now. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Mr. Muck comes through again, and he says, like, "Well, we decide to ride this horse. So, like, you're okay riding that horse." Of course, like, I got no mount. Of course, I'll ride that horse. And winning all those little things, like, made it for me, like, to be huge. And Codys Wish, just to be able to be part of that thing, and all the beautiful that is in the story. Just a big highlight in my career as a jockey, personal for my family. I think I've been able to even teach my kid, so much about it. Like I told, like, try to remind them every time they're kind of complaining. Listen, we're having a beautiful life. We're all healthy here. We have everything we need. Like I said, we might not have everything we want, but we do have everything we need. And we should just be grateful with what we have, and that we're, like, all together right here. And I always try to remind her that.
Oh, I love that. I should record that for my kids. Whew, they need it.
Yes.
Awesome. Anything else you want to talk about, Sean?
I got two more. One, and I don't want to bring the mood down, but I feel like fans need to know. So the Pegasus was with Art Collector, obviously. How tough is that part of it when something happens to, like, Art Collector or a horse like that you've had a relationship with, that you've had success on, stuff like that, to a jockey? People don't see that.
Yeah, no, to me, I'm still, I haven't get that, like, I with that, but I haven't been able to, like, accept that 100% what happened to him. And I guess because I was able to go to the bar a couple times after races in Saratoga, just to go see him. And the way that I see him, I always had the feeling that he was gonna pull through it. He have, like, veterinarian there, like, 24/7, and I always thought, like, man, they're taking very good care of him, so he's probably gonna be able to pull through it. And at that moment, I thought, like, well, if he pulled through it, he probably not even gonna run anymore. But I don't mind. I don't care. He gave me one of my biggest accomplishments, and one of the biggest and happy moments in horse racing for me. And I don't mind. As long as he goes home and he goes happy, and he stay alive and do whatever he wants to do for the next years. I always gonna love that. But yeah, I guess, still for that reason, I haven't been able to completely process what happened to him. And like I say, it happens to many horses. It just sometimes, some horses, it's just hard to really get through that. And And yeah, for me, he was like one horse, and I'm still can't believe that we don't have him.
And then the last thing I'll ask, and I ask all our guests this, outside of horse racing, when you get a chance outside of horse racing, what do you do for fun?
I'll try to enjoy time with the kids. Well, I have, like I say, 12-year-old A and 4 full of energy. They're nonstop. They all the time want to do something. So I try to, to invest my time with them, whatever they want to do. When I have, like right now, we have 3 days off, we try to pick one day for one little kid to do what the little one wants, and then the next day what the middle one wants, and then what the other one wants, and trying to balance all that together. I love to enjoy. I have my own gym here at home, so I love to do that. I like to work out, a lot too. So I guess I get sometimes when I'm feeling frustrated or whatever, I think that helps me a lot. That helps my mind to release some energy doing some workout.
Well, now I have one more question off of that. You said you had 3 days off. Are you like a regular worker where you have 3 days off? It's kind of hard to get back in the groove. You kind of show up and you kind of got to get in it. Or are you like hustling out of the house to get back to it?
I work Monday. I got my day off today, but I still had to get up early to bring kids to school and stuff like that. I gotta go work tomorrow. But sometimes when it gets crazy at home and it crazy to sound, work for me is a relaxed time sometimes.
I get it, because I have kids the same age as your kids. Say less, right there with you.
Yeah, so when I go to work, sometimes they're like, "Oh, okay, relax." It gets chaotic sometimes here at home, but like I said, I love it. I wouldn't trade it and change it for anything in the world.
Oh, that is so cool. I love it. Well, honestly, there were so many comments tonight. We couldn't even get to all of them, but you've got tons of fans here sharing their support, talking about how incredible you are on and off the track. It has been such a pleasure having you on the show tonight, and we would love to have you back on again sometime.
Yes, I will. You know how to get me now, and I will definitely would love to be once again with you here in your show.
Yes, absolutely. And hopefully I'll see you at some point down at Gulfstream again this year. Fingers crossed. So, all right. Take care. And thanks again.
All right. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you.
Oh, man. That was an easy interview. We could talk to him all night, right?
Yeah. Again,
someone even said that.
38 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, Grandma Horse Racing even said, what an easy interview. Yeah. Could not agree with you more, but that's great. That's what we like.
Yeah. And it's neat too. And I like, if you get to meet him at the track, and I've only met him once, but I met him at Parks, and I knew right away, hey, if we get him on the show, it's going to be an easy show. And there's so much to talk about. And it was such a nice guy. You can talk through social media and you can kind of get an idea if they're nice or not, but you meet him in person, and I mean, he is as advertised, because as you can look up and down the comments, we don't get to put them all up. We screen them, yes, to a point. There's not one bad comment in there at all.
No. There were so many good comments. I couldn't get to them all.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, he's just that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very, very cool person. I mean, Willie had nothing but great things to say about him, and he's been in this industry for 40 years, so he knows what's up.
Yeah, and just continued success, absolutely, and avoid. He's had plenty of injuries. Hopefully, that's all the injuries he's had, and he goes on to have a healthy and successful career.
And this really has been his year. I mean, we've been talking about Junior a lot in 2023, and all for great reasons. Yeah. Oh, I like this comment. What do you think about this one? Better than Barbara Walters and Hugh Downs? Okay. All right, we'll take that. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Like, Barbara Walters was like, that kind of show, they were kind of trying to dig in the dirt and stuff like that. We're not trying to do that. We don't bring on bad people that we're trying to We're trying to highlight the positives.
Yeah, we're not bringing on.
But we'll still take the compliment.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. Yes. And see more comments coming in. Absolutely love it. Love to see you guys bringing in these comments. We love the interaction here on Horse Center. So please bring that energy every time. It just makes our job even easier. Like, oh, look, here's another comment we can pull up. All right. Well, what else have we got going on, Sean?
The guys should be back tomorrow. I believe it'll be Rich and Charles. I'm not sure what track they're doing, but it's Thursday. They'll be here. Lucy and I will be back next week. Not sure of the schedule. I know we've been having difficulties with scheduling and shows and stuff like that. Just bear with us. We'll start getting more consistent.
Yes.
It's not always the easiest thing, but we're definitely thankful for people like Junior that made this easy and easy to schedule, easy to be on, all that. So just like, subscribe, everything's free. Just help us. It helps us out a ton as much as you can like, subscribe, tell your friends, that kind of stuff helps.
Yes. And we struggle with scheduling a lot of times because every single one of us works at least full time, usually 2 or 3 jobs. So it's hard, we're all just doing the best that we can to bring you guys great content, but hopefully the more that you share it, the more you interact with us, the more you do all of that, the higher chance there is that one day we can make this our job. Right, Sean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, for sure. Because how awesome would that be? We get to put more content out. We're going to do everything we love. We're going to promote the sport of horse racing. It'd be excellent.
Absolutely. All right. So with all that being said, don't forget, like, follow, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Absolutely free to do so. Follow us on all the social media so you don't miss anything. We are Horse Race the number 2 day. So catch us there. But no matter what, we hope that we catch you in the
Winner's Circle.
Winner's Circle. Good night, everyone.